Hello, welcome to the Crochet and Knit podcast. My name is Walter, and I'm coming to you from the San Diego part of Southern California.
Hello and welcome to the Crochet Luna Vlogcast. My name is Claudia and I'm coming to you from the San Diego area in Southern California. That was my son you just met. He has been dying to do my intro for many months. We actually recorded one. Well, we actually did one a couple months ago and then came later to find out that Mama had not pushed the record button, so he didn't quite make it. So hopefully you guys got a glimpse of my boy, and he is aspiring to be a YouTuber as a career. Well, we'll see how that goes. So welcome to episode 30. I am so glad to be here with you, feeling like 1,000 times better than the last time I recorded. I was feeling okay, but yeah, I'm feeling a lot better. I still have a little bit of the cough, a little bit of the voice. It's a little rough, but I feel so much better. Today was rainy in San Diego. Hello, it's April. Well, I guess April showers, right? But it was weird because it was kind of warm and rainy, so it's kind of muggy. I was not enjoying the weather today, people. Not enjoying it at all. Anyway, we're at episode 30, the big 3-0. And I was really excited about that, and then I started thinking about why that was special to me. And the reason why is that when I turned 30, which was 16 years ago, I literally had a meltdown, you guys. It was ugly. My friends took me out to dinner. I was living in a condo in the Inland Empire. And I remember coming home from that dinner, parking my car, sitting in my car, and just bawling. And I was crying, not out of happiness. I was crying because I kept saying to myself, oh my God, I am 30 and I am nowhere near where I wanted to be when I was in my early 20s, thinking about where I would be in my 30s, right? So it's just funny looking back at that, thinking at that day, at that time, how glum life seemed. And now I can't explain to you how happy I am with the life that I have now 17 years later. So here we are at episode 30 of the Vlogcast. I've just celebrated 2 years of doing this, and I am so happy to be here with you. Welcome to any new subscribers. Welcome to any returning viewers. I so appreciate you having some time for me. And like I said in my last Vlogcast, I am actually here way sooner than usual. It's been only about 2 weeks, and I do have lots of stuff to talk about. So let's get started. First things first, little life update. Spring break for us is around the corner. It actually starts next week. And as it's been a tradition here in my home, we are going camping for the weekend. We usually leave Friday, come back Sunday. And when I say camping, I don't mean pitching in a tent in the middle of nowhere. I mean, we camp at Camp Land by the Bay, which is in Mission Bay. You pull up to your campsite, you set up your tent, and there is a place to plug in all your electronics. So we have all kinds of electronics going on, including like a mini fridge. My brother-in-law likes to bring a mini fridge. So, and there's heated bathrooms and hot showers. And so it's not like the camping. When people say camping to me, I figure like you're pitching a tent in the middle of nowhere, you know. I can't do that. I can't. I'm just not an outdoors person. But this is as much camping as I will do. And I do it once a year because I want my children to have that experience. My husband grew up camping, and so it's been just a family tradition. We've been doing it since the kids were like 1. So that's what we're going to be doing. And then we've got spring break, and then Easter Sunday, where we get together as a family with looking for the eggs and having good food and just sharing a nice time with family. So that's what's coming up for me. Also, let's see. Like I said, I'm feeling better. Yeah, so really that's just about it. Got camping, got kids out of school, and yeah, Easter Sunday. Easter is around the corner, so I haven't even done like Easter baskets, like none of that stuff. I want to give you an update on the inclusion and diversity list that is hosted on my Instagram profile. I have added some new ones, and I also wanted to let you know, because I don't know that I mentioned it last time, that the list also is hosted by Faye of the Crochet Circle podcast on her blog. I will put the links down below. I think that I really dropped the ball on that, on mentioning how much work Faye is also putting into this upkeep of this crochet designer list that that we are actually co-hosting. You know, we are kind of co-hosting this project, me on my Instagram account, and she's also doing it on her blog. So if you perhaps you don't have an Instagram account, please, I urge you to go to her blog. Like I said, I will put the link down below, and then you will be able to access the list. She updates it almost, you know, I think it's updated up to the last designer that I have. If not, I'm sure she'll do it soon. And I have put a call out, I think it was a couple weeks ago, I put a call out to any crochet designers who are BIPOC. If you would like to be featured on the Instagram list that lives on my Insta account in the highlight section, please contact me. If you are a crocheter in our community who has a designer that you would like to see highlighted on the list, please contact me. I would love to reach out to them, because what Faye and I want is a resource for our community. We want to be able to have that as a place for you to be able to find some incredible patterns and talent that maybe you had never seen before. So again, the list lives on my Instagram account and also on Faye's blog. So please look out for that, and as well, reach out to me. You can reach out to Faye as well, and let us know if we're missing. If you go through the list and you think someone should be there, please let me know. I would love to contact them and see if they would be interested in being part of the list. Let's get to some CAL winners. I have 4 people to announce who have won. 3 people from the Sock Themed CAL, which is an annual CAL that I am running in my Ravelry group. Each month has a theme, and people have crocheted socks and they've tied it to that theme. And I have 3 winners, 1 for each month of the first quarter. And let me just say, there are some fantastic socks on that thread. If you have not had a chance to pop over to the Ravelry thread, the Sock It To Me thread, that is where I am hosting the sock theme CAL for the year. And you have been wanting to crochet socks, that is the thread to be. We have what is it called? Our in-house sock guru, which is Tamara from Crafty Escapism. There's also people who have made multiple pairs of crocheted socks. And so if you have been thinking about it, but you are a little intimidated by crochet socks, I highly urge you to check out that thread. It's got great information. It's got a lot of lovely people who are more than happy to help. But I have 3 winners, And let me read to you what the themes were. So for January, the theme was New Beginnings. And the winner for New Beginnings is, I'm going to read it. I have my notes. Sandwich Stitches. I'll put it down here in case I have butchered that name. You are the January winner for the sock theme cowl. Now, February, our theme was Love is in the Air, and there are some beautiful socks. There's a pair of socks that you need to go look at that has hearts. It's a pair of knitted socks with hearts, because you can knit and crochet socks for this cowl. I don't care. I just want to see beautiful socks. There are a couple sock making machines. Hannah of the Cozy Cottage Crochet, she's just whipping them out as soon as the themes comes out. She's got her socks going. And so for February, we have our winner is MS Driver. I will again put the name here. MS Driver, you are the February winner. And our March theme was Feeling Lucky. There were some beautiful socks for that month as well. Our March winner is My Inner Iris. Put it down here again, My Inner Iris. You are the March winner. Please contact me. You have won a Ravelry pattern of your choice up to $10. So just let me know what that pattern is, and it's yours. And thank you so much for participating. Thank you so much for everyone who's participated. And just to let you know, it doesn't matter if you make your sock for the month. As long as you make your socks throughout the year, you can do 6 pairs in 1 month. I don't care. You can enter them. But for right now, quarter 1 is closed because we have now chosen our winners. But you can continue to go through the list of themes as I put them out. Because if you are someone who crochets 12 pairs of socks, you will be entered into a grand prize drawing that's going to be pretty phenomenal. I really want to reward someone from this Vlogcast who has crocheted or knitted, or a combination of both, 12 pairs of socks. Because that is quite the accomplishment, since I have not finished any of them. But like I said in my last podcast, I have yarn for a lot of months. I have patterns picked out, and I'm gonna bust through. One of these days, I'm gonna put an episode up, and you guys are just gonna be like, what just happened? Claudia just showed 3 pairs of socks. That's what I'm going for. So I'm looking forward to taking, I don't know what month, but one of these months where I just do nothing but make socks. So congratulations to the winners. I usually do a like a slideshow of the FOs for my cows. I will actually, for this time, just show the FOs of the 3 winners, and but keep them coming. Please, please, please participate. You can also double dip into Hannah's year sock cowl. What is it called? I'll put the hashtag here. She's also hosting a year-long sock cowl, so please feel free to double dip in both the cowls. So good luck to you guys. So, Supernatural cowl is come and gone, and it was a really nice cowl. I'm super, Dean and I are super happy with the people who participated in this cowl. This was co-hosted by Holly of the Yarn Journey podcast. She had the chatter thread, I believe, or I had the chatter thread. She has a thread on her Ravelry that she hosted for this cowl. but it's come to an end and I have a winner. And so we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 10 projects entered into this cow, which I thought was great. Hey, if I get one person to enter my cow, I'm super happy. So the fact that we had 10 people who wanted to crochet a project based on either supernatural, their show, or a supernatural theme, I'm way more than happy. So I'm ready to announce the winner, and that is DKA Crochet. This is her Ravelry name. She made a lot of projects for this cowl. She made the Wayward Daughters cowl, the Sioux Falls Capulette, and a cowl inspired by Bobby, but she called it Balls cowl. So I will put in her FOs so that you can see the pretty things that she made for this cowl. And I want to show you what you won because I haven't shown the prize. So first up, we have this beautiful donut bag that is from my shop and made by the lovely Ashley of Ash Love Makes. She makes all of my zippered bags. And in it, you will find a skein of Rusty Ferret yarn, which I am a huge fan of Rusty Ferret. I picked this up at Yarndale last year. Look at the beautiful colors. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous skein of yarn. So you're going to get that. You're also going to get, okay, I am fully on the yellow bandwagon. Is there a bandwagon? Is there a wagon? I don't know. Whatever it is, I'm on it because all I want to do is work with yellow. I want to be surrounded by yellow and I want to work with yellow. I love it so much. So you're also going to get this Yellow Bear measuring tape. You're going to get some party animal notes, like a little notebook, and a little stitch marker bag by the Striped Tangerine. They are a fantastic little Etsy shop. Check them out. And also, you will get 4 pins, 4 of the pin back pins from my shop of your choosing. So if you visit my Etsy shop, go ahead and let me know what 4 pin back pins, you know, the little round pins that are in my shop. Let me know which ones you'd like, and you are welcome to choose 4 of them, and I will ship them to you. So congratulations, DKA Crochet. Thank you so much for participating. And so that brings that cowl to a close. Thank you. I've got some future Crochet Luna cowl news to give you. I mentioned last episode that Allie from Little Drops of Wonderful and I will be co-hosting again this year the Dodgy Bag Mal. That was such a successful and fun mal that we are definitely going to do it again. We still have to iron out some details. Allie, I still owe you an email, and I will get on it this weekend, I promise, so we can iron out our details. There will be a donation component. Last year we donated to the Parkinson's organization in the UK, And so we are going to iron out where donations will be going for the purchasing of the dodgy bag pins that were created last year. So stay tuned for that information. And in other Cal news, the very exciting annual Summer of Romance Cal that is co-hosted with Clarissa Beth of the Crochet Cakes podcast has finally settled on a theme. We have finally settled on our summer theme, and it's a good one. It's a good one. 100% of the credit goes to Clarissa Beth this year because she's the one that had the theme, and yes, we are going with it. And so, are you ready to hear what the theme is? Are you ready for this? When opposites attract. That is the theme for this Summer of Romance Cal. We will get you dates. We still don't have dates, but it's definitely June. I think it's June through August. We do a pretty lengthy Cal. I will, in my next Vlogcast, definitely will have dates for you guys. But yes, we have a theme. We had a nice little chat about what that meant to us. And, you know, for me, it's 80s movies. I told her, you know, and I'll tell you right now, whatever project I do for this Cal, it's going to be Jake from 16 Candles and that cherry red Portia. Yes, 16 Candles. Now, I think I was out of high school when that movie came out, or maybe not. I'll have to look at the date. Maybe I was still in high school. Anyway, one of my favorite movies is 16 Candles. I love everything about that movie, including the oh so cute main character or love interest of Molly Ringwald's Sam, who was Jake. So yeah, that's where my head is going. That's the project that I need to develop with that in mind. So yes, when opposites attract, start thinking about what your favorite attraction couple is going to be. It could be from books, it could be from movies, it could be wherever you are going to find that inspiration for your project. It's gonna be okay. Okay, we are I think last year we did WIPs up to 50%. I'm sure we'll do the same thing this time, but you must tie it to that theme when opposites attract. So get ready for it. Moving on to finished objects. I have one finished object that I am so thrilled with. I can't, as the grocery girls say, I can't even, right? I showed you guys this amazing pattern by Rosina of the Zines and Roger podcast. This is her design on the cover of Molly Makes. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. I want to make it. I said, Rosina, I won't see this magazine for like 2 months. She sent it to me. I believe that Zelda, who is has a YouTube channel. Zelda, who is what is her? I always get it wrong. Zelda NRG3. I will put it right here, and I will link it below. I don't know. You know, there's certain channel names that I just always have to think about. And you would think by now I would know what her channel name is. I still have to stop and think about it. Anyway, she and I and my cousin Evelyn, who I keep saying to her, you've got to come podcast with me. You guys, she does such beautiful crochet. Now, she's a little shy and she's working up the courage, but she has a beautiful FOs. So we got together last Sunday, 2 Sundays ago, and they got, you know, you can get this pattern digitally because you can download it from mollymakes.com. I will put a link for that in case you want to get your hands on this. But if you're in the UK, you already have this magazine. And I believe this is probably now out here in our Barnes & Noble. That's my local bookstore. So that you can, if you want to make one, you can. But you can get it digitally. So we went to Barnes & Noble. and we all got started, and it was so much fun to have people, like the three of us working on the same pattern. None of us had started. We brought our yarn, we each, were helping each other pick colors, and off we went, and we got a lot done that day. So I came home, finished it. I want to show you the yarns first. I used Vicki Brown's, I bought this at Yarndale as well. Vicki Brown double knit superwash merino. It's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon honey. I don't know what that, maybe the color is honey. And then it's 100 grams for 225 meters. So I had bought that skein of yarn because I wanted to make socks with it. But I was getting my yarn together for the project. And it just called out to me and said, no, I don't want to be socks. I want to be a fantastic cowl. So I wound it up, and I had that ready to go. Then, having yarn left over from working my rainbow and another John Arbon DK weight yarn, I used these two. Now this is blowing up. It is not as bright as you're seeing it. It is a nice magenta, but it's not like a hot pink as you're seeing it. Maybe if I put it here. I don't know. I'm under artificial light. So this one and this one, these are two John Arbon yarns, which I am in love working with this yarn. And then it doesn't really show up that much, but I had an idea that I wanted to use that 50-gram skein of yarn that Tara from Mitchell's Creations dyed up for us when we went to our crochetcation in Las Vegas last summer. I had her dye up a skein of yarn that was inspired by a picture that showed like Vegas at night, and this is how it's skeined up. It's gorgeous. So look at this. Do you see the sparkle? Look at all these colors. It's gorgeous. And I have been dying to use this. So here is my cowl. It's pretty big. It's pretty long. I love it so much. It is like, I wore it today to the art class. I helped teach an art class at my kids' elementary school, and I wore it, and I don't know if it's the yellow, I don't know if it's the design, I think it's all of it. People were stopping me and saying, is that, what is that? Somebody said, is that knitted? I said, no ma'am, it's crochet. And they were loving the colors because it's a bright, beautiful yellow. It's not looking so bright under the lights, but if you've seen pictures on my Instagram, it's got a more tour. You can see a more tour value of the colors. And then the Mitchell's Creation is actually in this part here. I don't know if you can see it, but in between the magenta is the Mitchell's Creations yarn, which I think blends perfectly with the other yarns. It looks beautiful. But I have to tell you something. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I did this cowl. Sorry. I did the cowl. I finished the cowl per the pattern. I joined the cowl per the pattern. And then I put it on. And I think I should have gone up a hook size. And I think my yarn is a little bit thinner, even though it's DK weight, than the one that Rosina used to make the sample. Because if you look at the picture here, you clearly see the border here. And the cowl looks a lot fluffier, like a lot bigger, right? And so when I put mine on, this triangle part was like way up here. It was a little tight, and then the top part was just kind of like a little bit too wide. So then I'm like, you know what? I didn't check gauge. I'll be honest. I didn't check gauge. And then I think I should have gone up a hook size, and then I think my yarn, because it's not the same yarn that she used, just behaved a little bit different. So I if you guys would have been here, you would have felt my pain, because I had weaved in the ends when I mattress stitched the cowl together, and then I needed to cut that join. So I cut the join and I ended up cutting part of the border and part of a stitch in the cowl. So I ended up cutting, don't ask me how, I just cut. I was a little frustrated, I'll be honest with you, because I'm like, I should have checked it, I should have gone, like, I'm saying all this stuff to myself after I have got to, oh, and by the way, I had weaved in all the ends, I had blocked the cowl. I mean, it's like, that was work that I had already done. So I had to cut it, and then I lost 2 rows of the granny stitch because I cut into a stitch. But I said to myself, look, as happens, right? You just have to get back on that horse and finish it. Because if you don't finish it, Claudia, you'll put it away, and it's going to be next year when you'll be crying about how you didn't finish it. And I was determined to finish this because that yellow made me so happy. So I undid it. And actually I have 0 yarn left. You guys don't even know. I was playing a serious game of yarn chicken. Like, this was serious. And I made it. I had to make a couple adjustments, and I'll show you where. But I went ahead and did it. And so what I did, wove in my ends, reworked the border per the pattern, blocked it again, and then I did not join per the pattern. You saw that on my Instagram post that I said I did not join per the pattern. I didn't. What I did is I went looking in my little stash of buttons, and I found 3 buttons that I thought were perfect. I mean, they're not the same size, but almost. This one's like a cream color, this is like a little magenta color, and this is like a little like yellow. And what I did is I joined the cowl, I kind of tried it on, and I only joined the top part of it, so that when I put it on, you can see that border. So the back of my cowl looks like this. So it's not joined. There's a nice wide space at the bottom. And I'm totally okay with that. It works for me. And what I did is, because of that whole, yarn chicken thing, I used Tara's yarn here in the border. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right here. So this is what the back of my cowl looks like, which is a little bit different than what the pattern calls for, but I wanted to make it work, and I wanted it to fall like this. And so that's how I got it to work for me. And I think it's a good option. So I would say if you're having that issue that maybe you crochet too tight, or you're not seeing that pretty border, that this is an option that you could use, is just use buttons, and that's it. And I love it. Like I said, I wore it today, and everybody was complimenting me on it. I'll show you when I put it on how I like it to fit. So I like the border to show. And see, as you can see, this looks a lot bigger and a lot fluffier than mine, but I got this bottom part to show, which is what I wanted, and it fits nice up here. It's not too tight, and so I made it work. So when you come to a pattern and you have a situation like this, I think it's good to stick with it and just to find a solution to make that pattern work for you, because this is exactly what I wanted. This is exactly the fit that I wanted. This is exactly how I wanted this to show off the border. And so I'm super happy with it. I think Rosina, again, has made a fantastic pattern. I have yet to crochet one of Rosina's patterns where I look at it and go, that didn't work. I have crocheted, I think, 4 or 5 of her patterns, and they have all brought me great joy. They are all pieces I'm super proud of. And I just want to say as an aside, if you have seen Rosina's last episode, I don't want to get emotional, but she is crocheting a cowl. She's designing a cowl, and she's calling it the Claudia cowl, and I'm so honored by that. I can't even tell you what that means to me, that you, with your talent, Rosina, would take the time, because I know time is a precious commodity for all of us. And you as a designer, you probably have 1,000 ideas and submissions and things. And the fact that you would take the time to work a design with me in mind is beyond. I have no words. And I want to say a big thank you to you for that. And as I said in my comments to you, I'll probably make 1,000 of them. It's like, I'm going to make a lot of those cows. I'm telling you right now, I will test that pattern. I have yarn, because I have yarn for that from the same company that she bought yarn from, that she's designing that cowl. So it's ready to go. I have it in the most fantastic colors, but I will show you the first one's going to be made in this color. More yellow. You see, this is the company. I call it my bunny sheep because of those beautiful ears. So the border Leicester, 100% wool, the Dalton border Leicester. It's yellow. It's just beautiful yellow. It smells sheepy. It's just going to be the best, warmest thing for the winter. I love the feel of this yarn. It's not the softest yarn, but it just feels like it has good body, and it's just, I cannot wait. So first up, it's going to be this color. So again, thank you so much, friend. I can't even tell you. I'm just over the moon about that. Let's talk WIPs. Now, you guys know I have many WIPs, but I have a new WIP that I want to share. And I am really excited about it. Like, how can you not be excited about a project that you're working on, that you just started, you know? It is living in my beautiful bag from Knit It, Hook It, Crafted. You know, it's looking very magenta-y and very like vibrant. It is not like that. It's a very muted, beautiful color. I've got some pins on it. We got this one in Vegas when we went to our crochetcation last year. But I've got my 2 pins from Shelly Can, my Leaping Llama and Fearless. And I've got my shawl project. And I am working on, this is a pattern that's been around for a while, but I have a particular purpose in mind for this project. It is the Wonder Woman shawl, the crochet version of it. This shawl is a free pattern by Carissa Browning. This is the name of the designer. Like I said, this is a free pattern. And I am using yarn from Laser Sheep. She is a local dyer to me. And one of the things that Leslie does is that she designs, instead of just giving her ball bands the name of the color of the yarn, she designs a button with the name of the color. So for example, this is my gorgeous red. This is the gorgeous red yarn that I'm using. It's sparkle yarn. Don't mind my fuzzy, messy cake. It's really not that red. Oh my God. I don't know. I'll take better pictures. You'll see it. So I just started. And so I only have this. Here's the front of it. I only have this much. But I've been working on this for like 2 weeks, but I cannot count. It's official. I can't count. I've been messing up this stitch count so many times and frogging so many times. But I got it. I got it last night. And I'm finally here. I've got pretty little stitch markers, so I have this much. So the name of this yarn is Sheeply Quinn. She, Leslie designs these herself. Let's see. There you go. She designs these. They're so cute. And then the yellow is, again, a beautiful sparkle yarn. I don't know if you can see the sparkles, but it's a really pretty yellow. That one is called, oh my gosh, I don't have my glasses. Sheep 3 Poo. Can you see it? There you go. So she designs all these cute little buttons. But she did give me the Wonder Sheep button as well. She's designed this one. So she must have a colorway, I guess, for that. And I'll just tell you briefly why I'm working on this shawl. There is a little girl that was part of my daughter's troop, my daughter's Girl Scout troop, who went off because went out of our troop because her mother started her own troop, and we're all still, you know, good on good terms. Everything's, you know, everything's good. But last November, December, she was diagnosed with a child form of cancer. And so she's been battling cancer like an unbelievable warrior. And so you know, as a maker, I feel like whenever there's something that I want to do to help somebody, I just feel like, what can I make? What can I do? And so I see her posts on her mother's posts on Facebook, and I see how she's doing, and I just felt like I want to make this shawl because to me, she's like a superhero. She is handling it with the most grace and strength and teaching grown people lessons that a child should not be teaching adults, because she's just been an amazing, amazing warrior. So I was at Stitches West, and Leslie had a picture. She had a sample of the Wonder Woman shawl, the small version, knitted up on her stand. And I'm like, and it's been on my mind to do it. And I saw it as a sign. I'm like, yeah, this is where I'm going to get the yarn. And I was talking to Ashley of Ash Love Makes, and she's making one as well. So I'm very motivated to finish this, and I'm very motivated to not give up and not get frustrated because I can't count. To keep working it so I can finish it and send it to her. And like I said, she's an unbelievable warrior. So I'll give you progress on that shawl on the next podcast, if it's not done by then, because that is my goal. Next WIP is one that, again, I did start last year, and it's a WIP that I want to finish. And I has fallen into this situation that happens with WIPs that sit around for months and months and months, that you pull the pattern out and you cannot figure out where the heck you left off. Even though I have written notes in the pattern, I could not move forward where I had left off. And what's really frustrating is that I had done a lot of work on this project. So it's my Skyle Sail Top by Lena Fedotova. I've shown this before. It's a beautiful top. And this is the designer's name. It's a beautiful top. I was about here, okay? I was about here. But I had not joined the sleeves because when I previously stopped, I had an issue with the sleeves. So I stopped. And now, 1,000 years later, I'm trying to pick up this project. Could not figure out how to continue forward. So what I did is I frogged all the way up to the top of the shoulders. So I'm back here now. And this is a beautiful yarn. I think this is Stylecraft DK. I ordered this from Wool Warehouse, like I said, last year. So I'm here now, and I am going to use what is this? It's the Loose and Threads Snuggly Wuggly. This is their DK weight yarn, and it is the color, I don't know. Let's see. I don't even think you can find this anymore. I don't know. It's a light gray color. So I have this one. And then I have a dark gray color. Okay. This is neither a ball nor a skein. It looks like that. I'm going to wind this up on my yarn winder, but this is the product of me frogging back my work. It is not pretty. What would you call this? It is definitely not a ball of yarn. So that is my second WIP that I want to finish. And it's living in the most fantastic bag, which is my Frenchie bag that I made last week. There's Frenchie. It is a ginormous garment bag. I'm calling this my garment bag because as crocheters, you know, we're going to have a lot of balls to make our garments. And there's no project bag that I have that's big enough to fit it. So I decided to make this big old bag. And it's actually made out of a tea towel. There's Frenchie. And all of my yarn is fitting beautifully in here. And this is not going to be the first garment that lives in here. And it won't be the last. So that is WIP number 2. Moving on to Yarnopolis, which is my acquisition segment. I have stuff. I have really fantastic stuff. And it's stuff that I've received in the last couple of months. I just have a lot to share, so I thought I'd break it up into different podcasts. But first of all, I want to share with you guys that Hannah of the Cozy Cottage Crochet made me this beautiful bag. This is a great size. I don't have a bag this size. It's beautiful. It's so well made. There's nothing dodgy about this. Nothing. But there's something really special in this bag. Aside from the I love it. It was a painting that Hannah bought for me from an artist called Stephanie Marie, the artist Stephanie Marie. This is her card. Look at the illustration. That should give you a hint as to what's to come. That's her style. And then this is information on her, which I will also link below. But look at this beautiful painting. I love it. I love it so much. And she's brown like me. See, representation matters. Even if it's just a little illustration, a little painting like this. I love it so much, Hannah. I love it, love it, love it. I am actually probably going to have it framed properly so that it can hang in my crochet corner. But thank you so much. This is one talented lady. You guys check out her stuff. Then Hannah, Faye of the Crochet Circle podcast sent me a package. Holy guacamole. Holy guacamole. It blew me away. It absolutely blew me away. And it starts with this fantastic bag. It's got little buses, UK buses. This is the bag that was made for me by the lovely Sam. Sam, thank you so much. I was supposed to reach out to you and say thank you, and I will still do that. But if you see this Vlogcast, I just want to say thank you so much for the bag because I love it. I love it so much. It's beautiful. It's perfect. It's big. And one of the reasons this bag's come to me is that Sam is one of the people that I stayed with in the house that Faye rented for Yarndale. And she is a 365 Halloween lover, 365 days of the year Halloween lover. She loves Halloween. And she had this really great Halloween bag. And I'm like, oh my God, I love your bag. And so we did a little bit of a trade. And she sent me this gorgeous, gorgeous bag, which I absolutely love. And the same goes for the next thing that I'm going to show you. So Rebecca, or Beck, as she was called, and I hope it's okay that I call you that, Rebecca, is a yarn dyer. Her company is Black Horse Yarn. You can find her on IG. I'll put it right here, but I will also put a link to her IG and her Facebook down below. So if you're interested, you can see her beautiful work. Look. Okay, here's her label, which I think is super adorable. It's Black Horse Yarn. I love these colors. I love them. I mean, look at it. Look at it. I know. Don't look at it. It's absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much, Rebecca, as well, for sending me this beautiful yarn. We did also a little swap. She was actually, then her yarn was at Yarndale, and I had no idea. Had I known, I probably would have gone to that stall and purchased some of it. I love it. So, thank you so much. Then, okay, so when I was at Yarndale, everybody had yarn from this company called Fine Fish. And I was super upset that I ran out of time and could not buy the yarn, because every skein of yarn that people showed me from this company, I was like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. Oh my God. But I just ran out of time. I mean, I was there for, what, 2 days? And I still ran out of time to buy yarn. So, Faye, being the awesome friend that she is, was at a fiber festival, a yarn festival. I don't remember the name of it. And she said, Fine Fish is here. Would you like some yarn? Or maybe I said, go to Fine Fish and buy me some yarn. And so she sent me pictures of what they had. And she sent me the yarn that I chose. Now, oh my God. Butter Ball. Here's the label. It's a beautiful label. Look at that label. Right? Fine Fish. I'm a little upset with the lighting, guys, because the yarns that I'm showing you are not showing up the way my eye is seeing them. This is way more yellow. Look at the specks. Beautiful, beautiful yarn. Just gorgeous. And then I wanted this one. Oh my God, look at the reds and the yellows. It is gorgeous, gorgeous. Just, I think they go perfect. So I will have to find a project for these two yarns because I'm in love with everything about them. Now this red one is called Janie, I don't know. That's the name of the yarn. Look at it. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Oh my god, look at all those colors. Look at the colors. Oh my gosh. Oh. Why does yarn make me so happy? I don't know. I just don't know. But it just does. I'm so happy. Then the lovely Charlie of the Love Charlie Instagram account, and she used to podcast, but she's like getting married in like 2 weeks. So she's been like in full wedding prep mode. And if you have not seen what she's preparing for her wedding, go to her Instagram account. You will be blown away. This girl has been crocheting flowers and things to make bunting, and just the most delicately beautiful crochet things for a wedding. I mean, I hope, Charlie, that you share lots of pictures of what your wedding looks like, because it's just beautiful what you're making. And so during Christmas, she had put out, I think it was this one. She was working on a pair of socks with this Christmas colorway from West Yorkshire Spinners. And I mentioned to her that I really liked it. And she said, would you like me to send you some? And I said, well, sure. And not only did she send me this beautiful one, she sent me this one. This one's beautiful too. It's a 4-ply yarn with all those beautiful colors. This will again be a pair of Christmas socks, of course. And then she sent me a Stylecraft All Stars head over heels. Now, if you want to know about this yarn, Kathryn of Crafternoon Treats and Sandra of the Cherry Hard podcast, if you look at their episodes, you can get the background at how some of these yarn colors were created. You can see right here on the ball band what that's going to look like. Because I believe these were inspired by paintings. So, yeah. I will link Kathryn's podcast and Sandra's podcast. Sandra, I was just thinking about you the other day. I was wearing my Treasure Island shawl that has the beautiful yarn that you gifted me when you came here and we did our little yarn crawl. So I put that on and I was like, oh, I remember when she was here and we went to the different yarn shops and we had such a good time. So that's, I think, the beauty of souvenir yarn or gift yarn, is that you have such an immediate recollection and connection to what's tied, the events that are tied to that yarn, the places or the person or the event. I think that's why my favorite thing now is just to get souvenir yarn, because it's just way better than a picture to me. It really is. So then Faye also sent me, I don't know if you guys remember, but she talked about this. She sent me this. Really cool. It's one of those like little poppers that you see, but it's like a little intarsia snowflake. I also received llama lotion, not alpaca, llama lotion. And I've kept it in here this whole time because I've been waiting to podcast and show you guys. And then I got a beautiful, and I can't show this to you, but I got a beautiful save the date from Charlie. And like I said, if I could get on a plane and go to your wedding, I would just show up uninvited. I'd be crashing your wedding. Because like I said, I think you are going to put together the most beautiful wedding, crocheted wedding I've ever seen. And so let's see. Okay, so there's one skein of yarn that I want to talk about. And that is a skein of yarn that Faye sent to me from her trip to Barcelona. And it is from a company called Soc Una Troca. See that? And then look. Now Faye's got way better pictures, and she showed this on her podcast. So you can actually see what the beautiful colors of this yarn, because on my camera and on my video, they're not showing up true to color. This is a little bit, it's not as mustardy as that. It's a little bit lighter, but it is an absolutely beautiful skein of yarn. Look at that. It's just gorgeous. So I did a little research on this company, and I actually started that by going on their website, because when I read the ball band, I got a little confused, because you're talking, when you say Barcelona to me or Spain, I'm thinking Spanish, right? So first of all, the name Soc Una Troca, right? You see that name? When I heard it, I'm like, sounds like Spanish, but not quite. And then I start reading it, and there's words that I recognize, but words that I don't. So I went on their website, and the way it popped up, I couldn't understand it. So I reached out. I watched several Spanish podcasts, and one of my favorite ones is a lady called Sonia Desmagenada. I'll put her name right here. She is a knitwear designer and podcast from Spain. And I said, Sonia, do you have any information about this company? Or could you help me out? How to, point me in the right direction? And she said, if you go on the website and you click somewhere, it will translate the page into English, which I had no idea that happened. So I go back and I'm looking at it, and I found information about this company. So Soc Una Troca was started by Laya. I don't even know. I'm so sorry about mispronouncing this name. Laya. Here's her name. It's this beautiful lady that lives up. Barcelona is part of Catalonia, and there's several, I think they call them municipalities or the regions, or I did a little research, but it was still very complicated to me. So, because the language on this ball band is Catalan, which is the language of Catalonia, which is where she lives, and Barcelona is part of that. So, Catalonia is, and I'm reading off of my notes here, I apologize, is in Spain on the northeastern corner of the Iberian Peninsula. Catalonia consists of 4 provinces, that's the word, province. Barcelona, Girona, Lleida, Tarragona, and the capital and largest city is Barcelona. So she is an amazing dyer. She uses ecological dyes, and she gets the most vibrantly, just beautiful colors. And so I have a little mystery that I wanted to solve, which is, what does Soc Una Troca mean? In Spanish, if you translate the Catalan to Spanish, it means soy una madeja. Madeja is the word for skein in Spanish. So this company's name is I Am a Skein. It just brought a smile to my face. So Soc Una Troca means I am a skein, soy una madeja. So mystery solved. And I will put a link to her website. I will also put a link to the page that I found. I don't know if it will be translating to English, because it is from the yarn shop where you can find Soc Una Troca, which is Lalanalu. And they wrote a little article about her that you can read, but it is in Spanish. Lalanalu, is the yarn shop where you can find this particular yarn. Anyway, it was just a little rabbit hole that I went into trying to figure out, where is this place? Why don't I understand this language? And because I am horrible at geography, like I can't even tell you how bad I am. I was looking at the map and I was trying to figure out, because like I said, when I hear Spain, I think, oh, well, they only speak Spanish, but no, they don't. There's another dialect, another Romance language dialect that they speak there. And her story is pretty amazing. And you will, if you go to the website, you will read this in English. It is translated in English, where you can find out a little bit about her and her ecological mission and how she dyes her yarns. I'll read you just a little excerpt. She says, my dyes are also organic and heavy metal free. On top of that, they comply with GOTS, which is Global Organic Textile Standards. The techniques I use do not leave any color remnant in the water, so there are no poisonous residue. She's very environmentally conscious. So that is the package, and I also got some fabric from Faye. I'm looking forward to our Socktober, and I'll probably be making bags, little sock bags. So that is Yarnopolis, and I was completely spoiled. I also did a swap. I did a swap with the lovely Laurell of the Dabbling Hook, who likes to make amigurumi, which I have sort of a love-hate thing with. I mean, I like how they look. They're a little hard on my hands, and when more than one part is involved in the joining, to me, it's a little tedious. But Laurell makes amigurumis, and she posted a picture of someone that was very much interesting in acquiring, because I felt him calling to me saying, I want to come live with you in San Diego, Claudia. Please bring me to your home, because that's where I want to live. And that is Mr. Pablo Hellspun Carpenter. Why Hellspun? Because Pablo is made out of my least favorite yarn on the planet, which is homespun yarn by Lion Brand. Please, Lion Brand, stop making it. Please, I'm begging you. I made a whole sweater out of Hellspun where I was cursing every third stitch because I could not see where to put my hook. But Laurell is a Hellspun fan because it makes, and I completely agree with you, Rel, no arguing here, it makes fantastic amigurumi. Look at my boy. See? He's fantastic. He's pretty cool, isn't he? Yeah. He's got a cute little button butt. Got a little tail. And he sits perfect the way she makes them. And I believe, what is the name of this pattern? They're called, I wrote it down. Manico cats? I don't know. Oh, you know what? I'll write it here so you can see it. So, Pablo now lives with me here in Escondido, and he came with a little friend. He came with a chubby bunny. A chubby bunny. Chubby bunny. So cute. He's so soft. He's made out of like a velvet. Like what, a velvet? What do you call this material? Can you guys see it? Look at, you can't. It's so dense. So beautiful. I love him. So this is Chubby Bunny. And this is Pablo the cat. So thank you, Rel. I love them. I love them so much. I love them so much. I said to Rel, can you make me another one? Because I need to, ooh, I just saw you put the, look at how fancy she is. He's got a little dabbling hook tab right there. So fancy. I said, make me one because I want to give one to my cousin's baby. She's about 8 months old. And so Rel is making me one to give her for Easter. So she was going to get a chubby bunny. So here's my chubby bunny. And that is it for Yarnopolis. I'm going to show you one other thing. This is the Dabbling Hooks card. Look at, she is so fancy. She gives you a little stitch marker. And here's her card. And again, I will put a link to her, I think what I'll do is I'll put a link to her podcast, because she also has a podcast, and to her Etsy shop. Because I'm sure you have an Etsy shop, right? I will put a link to her Instagram, which on her profile, I'm sure has the links to get you to where you can purchase things from Rel. She is a pattern designer, so she is on Ravelry and she has patterns. She has just released a pattern for a really pretty shawl. It's a granny stitch shawl. Check her out. Super talented lady. I'm very lucky to know such talented people. So thank you again, Rel. The last thing I want to share with you guys is a little pattern palooza. I love pattern palooza, but my printer didn't like pattern palooza. So there's a cartridge in my printer that is not working properly. So my patterns that I printed out are not true to color. They've got a weird wonky color. I will see if what I can do maybe is show you a slide of the patterns in their true color form. I will still show them to you in paper form, but I will tell you right now, they do not look great. I probably would have been better off printing them in black and white, but I don't like to do that because I like to show the color. By looking at them now, I probably should have done that. So, first off, the West Slope Pullover by Skein and Sticks Design, who is Erika. I met her at Stitches West. She is an amazing designer, and she created this really beautiful design for a pullover. She has a lot of amazing designs. Here's another look at it. And, oops, sorry, that actually had information. Let's look at this side first. So this is a paint pattern. I want this on my hook ASAP. Again, amazing designer. Check her out. And the next one is from the lovely Sam of the Sam Squeaks podcast. She's made, when you see the real photograph of this pattern, again, I'm apologizing now because it's actually like a green color, but my copy looks like this. So do not judge the pattern by this horrible copy that I'm showing you. Check out the photograph that's to follow. So, but look at the cable design. She's got a cable border, which is really beautiful. It's called the Ebbing Tides Shawl by Sam Squeak Design. So Sam also has a podcast. Next, we have the Derby Saint Shawl. Get ready for this one. The pattern's great, but the model is super cute. This is I think this is his first design, you guys. This is the Derby Saint Shawl. It's a beautiful, like, triangle shawl. And it is by Jacob Belair. I believe this is his first design. And when I saw this picture, I'm like, very cute. And he's like, yeah, that's my fiance. And I'm like, hubba hubba. Very cute. Great model. When you've got someone to model your patterns that looks like this, you better use them in every single photograph because he is very handsome. Then I've got three free patterns. The first one is by Tamara Kelly from Moogly Blog, who you guys know we love. And it's the Pixie Shawlette. Again, the photograph is not that great, you guys, and I apologize. It looks like this. It's the Pixie Shawlette. It is a free pattern on her blog. And what I like about it, it uses 239 yards. We all have a skein of yarn that we could use where we're just using one skein of yarn for a project. A beautiful skein of yarn I think would be perfect for this little shawlette. If you look here, it wraps around nicely like that. She's got a shawl pin right here to keep it in place. So there's that pattern. And then there is, I've been looking for a scrap. I don't want to make a scrap blanket with my fingering weight yarn. Who wants to do that? But I did want to make a scrap shawl. So I've been looking and I found the Leftovers Triangle Shawl, the Leftovers Triangle Scarf by, I'm not even going to try, Heike? I don't know. I think she might be Dutch. Anyway, this is the pattern. And this is the free pattern. So I will show you the extent of the pattern. The extent of the pattern. Zelda, I picked this one for you. There are no real written instructions and just a chart. This is a free pattern on Ravelry. As you can see, it's just a chart. And I actually picked this with Zelda in mind because we are working on her reading patterns, but she says she feels more comfortable with the chart. And like I said, we all have leftover, you could use any weight with this. I mean, if you have a bunch of worsted weight yarn, you probably use that. You could use, it says any gauge designed for any gauge. Any leftovers of yarn choice. So if you got a pile of DK, a pile of fingering, a pile of worsted, you can make this really pretty scrap shawl. Then I was on Instagram today. I thought, okay, I have my patterns for Pattern Palooza, but something popped up on my Instagram and I went looking for it because I think it's beautiful. And it's by this super talented Tony Lipsy. It's the Browning shawl, which she designed for Furls Crochet, you know, the company that makes the beautiful crochet hooks. And I believe this was a March Cal that they hosted, but she did the design. She did the design for it. And you have to go to Furls, which, if you guys have not checked out the Furls Crochet website, aside from the beautiful hooks, they have a whole library of free patterns that you can access. And there are some very, very nice free patterns on that website. Though this Browning shawl is absolutely gorgeous, but my printout is absolutely horrendous. I will show it to you anyway. But it's this right here, the Browning shawl. It's a pretty big shawl. But it's gorgeous. You guys check it out. It's a free pattern. It's a free pattern. And that is Pattern Palooza for this episode. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for subscribing. Subscribe. Give it a thumbs up if you like the video. I don't normally do that, but my kids encouraged me to do that. And as you saw at the beginning, my son wanted to be part of this podcast. And so much appreciation to everyone who spends time with me. I'm sending you lots of love, lots of healing vibes if you need them. If you are suffering from a chronic condition, soft hugs to you, friends. And know that you're in my prayers almost every single day. I pray for my friends who suffer from chronic conditions, because it is a tough life. It is. I mean, life is hard. Life is hard anyway, but when you suffer from a chronic condition, that added burden is no joke. So thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.